Prepare to get fired up on this one. What if I told you a man is now facing federal charges, not for firing a shot, not for hurting anyone, but simply for owning a braced pistol that the ATF says shouldn't exist? That's right. The feds are going after a guy for possessing a CZ Scorpion equipped with a pistol brace. And the case could set a terrifying precedent for gun owners across America. Yep, I know what you're saying. Wait a second, Jared. Isn't the pistol brace rule dead? Not for everybody. And this isn't about crime. This is about control. Absolute control. If you care about the Second Amendment, our Second Amendment rights, then this story is something you need to hear. So stick around, hit the subscribe button, and ring the bell for notifications, because here on Guns and Gadgets, I bring you the truth about what's really happening with our rights every single day. A huge shout out to today's sponsor, CMMG. Whether you're building your next one, upgrading your kit, or looking for high quality components from a company that believes in the Second Amendment, CMMG has your back. They let you keep more in the bank when you use code GNG10 as well. Thanks to them for supporting freedom and this channel. Let's dive into this. The ATF just dropped a hammer on a man in North Carolina, accusing him of violating federal firearms law because, get this, he owned a CZ Scorpion pistol with a stabilizing brace. That's it. No indication he was using it criminally, no reports of violence, just simple possession. That's it, nothing else. Now, that may not sound like a big deal on the surface, but let me explain why it is. Remember the ATF's rule change last year, where they redefined pistol braces as short-barreled rifles subject to the National Firearms Act? Well, that rule is still being challenged in court. It's not settled fully, but the ATF doesn't care. They've decided to enforce it anyway, and this case proves it. And here's what we know. According to the indictment, the man in question legally purchased the CZ Scorpion Evo 3S1 pistol. That model, like many others, was sold with a stabilizing brace to help shooters with disabilities safely operate the firearm. But now the feds are claiming that because of the brace, the gun should have been registered under the NFA. And because it wasn't, they say he's in illegal possession of an unregistered short-barreled rifle. The penalty for that is up to 10 years in prison and $250,000 in fines. And let me say that again. A guy who bought a legal pistol with a brace, something millions of Americans have, is now being charged and treated like a violent criminal. And, according to the indictment, he's being charged with the possession of both a pistol and an unregistered short-barreled rifle. One gun cannot be both a pistol and an SBR, but the ATF's trying it, and I need to ask, where the hell is Pam Bondi? Where the hell is whoever's in charge of the ATF right now? Or is it more of the same? This isn't justice. This is entrapment. And here's why you should care. This is the first known federal case against anyone simply for possessing a braced firearm after the ATF's rule change. That makes this a potential test case and a very dangerous one. If the government gets a conviction here, it sends a message loud and clear. We can change the rules on you overnight, and we'll throw you in prison if you don't comply. And I have to ask, again, where the hell is Attorney General Pam Bondi on this? Where is President Trump on this? What about the president's executive order on the Second Amendment? What about Pam Bondi's Second Amendment task force in the Department of Justice that was made to stop exactly this from happening? Again, or is it more of the same? Remember, this rule didn't go through Congress. It wasn't passed by elected lawmakers. It's a bureaucratic decision made behind closed doors, and now they're treating it like gospel, like it's an actual law. That's how freedom dies here, guys and gals. Not with a bang, but with a frickin' memo. And what makes this even worse is the legality of the pistol brace rule is still in limbo. Multiple lawsuits like Mock v. Garland are working their way through the courts, challenging ATF's authority to make these changes in the first place. And in some cases, judges have already granted injunctions, blocking the enforcement of this rule against certain groups. But here we have a guy who's not in any of these protected groups, and the ATF is making an example out of him. So join Second Amendment Foundation, Gun Owners of America, Firearms Policy Coalition, National Association for Gun Rights, and even the NRA, because they all have injunctions on this. But this guy apparently didn't. So let me ask you, how is any gun owner supposed to know what the law is when it changes at the stroke of a pen or at the whim of anybody with a new rule? This is exactly why the Constitution puts lawmaking in the hands of Congress and not unelected bureaucrats. And who the hell died and said ATF rules supersede the Constitution in the first place? Let's be real. This isn't just about one man or one firearm. It's about the war on gun owners. It's the war on the Second Amendment. And the ATF has long wanted to crack down on braced pistols. They just needed an excuse. First, they told us that pistol braces were legal. Then they reversed course and said they weren't. And now they're arresting people who followed the old rules. It's the classic bait and switch. And if this case ends in conviction, you can bet more prosecutions will follow. The gun-grabbing machine will smell blood in the water. And what's the worst part? It won't stop with braces. Once they get away with this, what's next? Bump stocks, binary triggers, AR-15 lowers, semi-automatic shotguns, ones with a magazine tube just about 2 inches too long? This is how incremental tyranny works. One rule, one case, one conviction at a time. So what can we do about it? Well, the first thing is you have to stay informed. That's what I do here at Guns and Gadgets. If you're not already subscribed, hit that button right now and share this video with more gun owners so they understand exactly what's really going on. You're not going to see this or hear this in the mainstream media. Second, support the legal gunfight. Groups like GOA and SAF, and FPC, they're actually out there fighting these cases in court right now. And third, contact your representatives and demand that these rules be repealed. Demand that these unelected bureaucrats stop rewriting the law. Get better people to run against some of these people. Maybe it's just you. Maybe you should run for office. This case could change everything. If the government gets away with prosecuting someone for owning a braced pistol, it opens the door to a new era of gun control. One that doesn't need Congress, one that doesn't need votes, and one that doesn't care about our rights. We cannot let that happen. I want to thank CMMG again for sponsoring this video and believing in Guns and Gadgets. They make premium firearms and components, and they're built by freedom-loving Americans in Boonville, Missouri. And I really appreciate their support. And hey, if you found this video helpful, smash that like button, drop a comment down below, and let me know what you think about this case. Are you worried about what's coming next? I sure am. And until next time, stay safe, stay ready, and stay free. Take care.